Good morning. What's up, guys? Let's get to work. 5 minute. What's up, brother? Giovanni Joe. Good to see you. Skeeto, Derek. How we doing, guys? Let's let all the regulars pour on in and let's start looking for setups. No reason to wait. First, what I want to do here. You guys know I'm always looking at the 5 minute top left, 2 minute top right, New York session, daily chart at the bottom. But let's make things interesting. If we can... Oh, the 1 minute's not looking too bad, is it? Is it? All right, we'll keep an eye on the 1 minute. Back to the 2 for now, but we're keeping an eye on that, baby, for sure. Okay, we are pushing downside through. Here's the 5 minute chart, the 5 minute 20 EMA. Take it with a grain of salt. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, nothing more, nothing less, but we are going to keep an eye on that as well. Back to the 2, 60 seconds out. Let's see if we get something interesting to put a scalp on. ATR is 1516. So let's put our head down, scalp, look for maybe half to a whole ATR scalps and just see if we can do any kind of damage here today. Jason, Tony, Christian, how we doing, guys? John, good morning. Good to see you guys. All right, 37 seconds out. All right. All right, copier engaged. 10 seconds out. Has to be a half reasonable close. I don't think we're going to get it, are we? All right, nothing there on that 2 minute bar. Next bar. So just a heads up, this is where we sit on the session so far. Most of that is from last night. Well, I guess all that is from last night. So when I pull that up throughout the stream, there you go. You'll know where we sit, at least to start. But it's all kind of one session, so I don't know if we're even gonna call that to start. That's just where we sit so far. All right, 65 seconds out. A little bit of a hang up here at the 5 minute 20 EMA. I've been liking that nighttime session, man. You trade too deep into it, like too deep into Asia, things start to slow down and get kind of troubling. But shortly after that open, I traded it Monday. I made money. I traded it last night, made money. But it's really easy, guys, to get caught in the cycle of sitting here for hours. I traded it for maybe an hour 15 minutes, and I was out of here. If you're gonna trade the night session, don't sit here for hours. It's a really good way to waste your life and not get a lot done. All right, 15 seconds out here. Inside close, hands off, no trade. Next bar, 2 minutes out. All right, we got to swap over. I'm sorry, we're not 2 minutes out because we are 50 seconds out because we are swapping over to the 5 because we have a potentially hell of a setup coming here on the 5 minute chart that I might have to slap on. But I'm not going to give it, to this curl. I'm not looking to swing trade this thing. Head down scalping. I'll risk the signal bar. Look to get maybe an ATR. Let's see here, 30 seconds. Biblical, good morning. See how we doing? Pat, good morning. Passed another eval this morning, up 921 in my funded account as well. Thinking of getting another eval started to scale horizontally. Thanks for all the education. Yeah, Pat, what are we thinking about, man? Sounds like you have proof of concept. Hit it. Hit it. Something I want you guys to think about. This prop opportunity is here. Okay, that's not a great close out of the 5, so we'll go back to the 2. Too bad. Next bar, 53 seconds out. I like this hopping around time frames, by the way. It keeps things fast. I want you guys to think about this. The opportunity of prop is here now. And if you kind of take it easy, because it feels like it's always going to be there, and then, you know, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I actually don't believe this is going to happen. I think prop trading is probably just going to get bigger. If you look at all the firms that are popping up, clearly this is a huge, massively growing industry that being a part of is as a trader, is very, very, I think, smart if you have edge. Because all these firms, they're in a race to the bottom, right? How easy can we make it to get a payout but still make money? Because if they can do that, they win. Hold up here, we got a few seconds. Let's see. Ooh. All right, give this 15 seconds, 10 more seconds at this point. See if we can get a retest of those highs. That immediately rolled over and pulled back multiple points. I can't. Damn, no entry. I was looking to get short on that. Immediately rolled over. Had it rolled over and stayed put or popped a point, I'd be hitting a limit sell. But we immediately rolled over. Boom. Instantly down maybe 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 points. All right, next bar here, minute 30 out. How was I saying? The opportunity's here now. And it's a race to the bottom. So all these firms are going to try to make it as easy as possible to get a payout while still making money. Because whoever can do that wins the game and makes many, many millions of dollars as the prop firm, right? Eventually, does that collapse? They take it too far? Because race to the bottoms always end in disasters for the companies. Not necessarily for us, but for the companies. So does it eventually implode? Maybe. Maybe. Does that mean that it just poof, the prop industry goes away? No. They'll have to come back and be smarter. Now, a lot of people are like, I think it's going to get regulated. I don't know, man. The futures market is already so regulated, and this exists in the current market. And follow the money, right? Prop trading, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not a scam. It's not immoral. It's a business. There are winners and losers. So I don't think it's going to get regulated in that kind of way. But hey, if it does, this is my whole point of this rant, by the way. If in 7 years we look back and we're like, oh my God, the prop industry is now outlawed. Cannot be done anymore. The losers banned it. You're going to look back and say, fuck, dude, I had edge. If I just hit it so hard, I could have made so much money, but I was a bitch. And I held off and I didn't buy an eval. I didn't hit it as hard as I can. I didn't sit in the chair long enough. Oh, if we could go back, I'd put so much more into it. Don't be in that position. Get your edge, take it easy, and then scale hard. Leave it all on the field, man. There, Joe. Vanny, how we doing? Good morning. Cisco, man, I think you might be hitting it too hard without edge. And you know what? You know what? If you look back and you're like, man, I hit it really hard, I never got a payout. That's better than looking back and saying I had edge and I didn't go fast. I was scared. I shouldn't have been scared because I had an edge and I was making money. Man, I'd rather be in the situation where you hit it hard and you never really figured it out than the other situation. But the best situation, the situation we all want to be in here, is you have edge, you hit it as hard, you realize that, then you hit it as hard as possible, and you try to take payouts from as many companies as possible, as often as possible, as big as humanly possible, while you have the positive ROI, which doesn't last forever in almost any business, right? Hit it hard, and then if it gets ripped away, you can at least say you left it all on the field. Hey, Scott, good to have you here today, brother. All right, we got 10 seconds. Yeah, I'll short that. Limit sell out, see if we can get a fill. Good. Good. I'll keep wrist tight. Oh, baby. Boom. Yeah, pulled back. Got 7 points-ish. Yeah, 6 3/4 points, 7 points, which is half an ATR. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Next bar. Looking for 8, got about 6 3/4, maybe 7. Base hits, that's right, Derek. All right, minute 15 out here. Adrian, good morning. How we doing? Hey, Beavis, good to have you. ABB, new here, bro. Def like your style. Gotta look back and see if you have a full strategy vid. A lot of people keep asking for the strategy video. Maybe I should just make it, but honestly, you guys, I don't know. I just think, you know, how would I learn the best? And also, what do I like to watch? I don't really watch a lot of like finance stuff because I'm doing it all day. And I don't know. It's not what I'm not into it. But it's like, you know, what would help me the most and what would I want to watch? Well, you know, doing it live, just biting the bullet and doing it and fucking losing live and winning live and talking things through and making mistakes live. All right, hold up here. All right, see if we can get a push down through. Manage this baby bar by bar. Just doing the thing live and making mistakes, missing entries, losing trades, which is the entire game, is how I would learn the best. All right, ATR is about 15. Looking for a minimum here, about half an ATR. Come on, Bears, take it through. Got about 7 points in the money at best, not quite enough. Ideally looking for a couple more ticks than what we got so far. Come on, Bears, fall through, fall through. There it is. Limit order out, see if we can get a fill. If we don't get a fill pretty quick here, I'll pull it. There we go. Out there, about 8 points-ish. All right. Kicking things off pretty quick here, 20 seconds out. Anyway, so I think about, you know, how would I learn? Well, watching it done live, I gotta tell you guys, again, hey, you will never hear me with another man's name in my mouth in a negative way, ever. Never, ever, ever. But, generally speaking, I'm not talking about anybody in particular. There's a lot of people making videos. Generally speaking, I cannot fucking stand the videos where it's like, the intro and it's like, cinematic and it's like, if you want to get rich in 2025, here's what you're gonna do, and it's all fucking bullshit. It's scripted, it's made by AI to retain your view so that it gets more views. It's entirely algorithmically driven. It means nothing. Has anybody actually ever learned anything from these videos except motivation, which is, you know, in a lot of ways is fleeting? No, I mean, I don't know. I'm not into it. It doesn't help. I'd rather just sit here and say, yep, here's what I fucked up today. Here's what I did right. What do you guys think? Not that I really give a shit, but here you go. Here's what I did. All right, 56 seconds out. And then, you know, also like just the rants, just little clips, because I like watching clips on YouTube, man. I don't want to sit down and watch a video that was made entirely to pay somebody. The ad revenue, it doesn't make enough money. Like it just, especially today, man, it's just not even worth optimizing for. Here we go, 30 seconds out. We're gonna get a third trade of the day already? Let's see here, man. Boom, place. Oh, beauty. Beauty, beauty. There we go, we'll risk that. Suck this baby down. And see if we can get a nice little push here. ATR is about 17 and a half. Again, that risk is just worst case scenario, managing bar by bar here. Minute 26 out. Eight. Hold on, wait, flat, copy trader. There we go, we're flat. All right, 8-9 points, half an ATR, a little bit better. Yeah, actually half an ATR. 3 trades so far on the day. John, good morning. Roy, Nico, yesterday was only about 1,700 green. Don't say only about 1,700. Do not say that. I know, I'm guilty of it too, because it's like we're shooting big as we fucking possibly can, and 1,700. But it's like, good God, I remember when I was first kind of coming in, man, I was like genuinely like, if I could just make $100 a day, things would be really, really good. Which is crazy to say today. 1,700 a day, man. That's really good. That's really good. Don't stop there. You know, I mean, shoot for 17,000 a day. Shoot for, 6 figures a day. I mean, that's kind of the goal, right? But 1,700 is awesome. But for the first time, I felt good about every trade I was in, even the losers. Damn straight, Roy. The losers are also good trades. People don't get it. And those people don't win. Adrian, hey, got a question. Why don't you scalp trade the ES? I do. I will, if volatility's high enough. The reason I prefer NASDAQ is just because, is it a little crazier? Yeah, 100%. But for the way that I trade, I like that. The ES, a lot of people describe as more fluid, like not easier, but almost in a way like a little easier. But it's not when volatility is low, because each tick is too big of a percentage, so slippage and commissions can kill you in comparison. Not kill you, but the NQ is more efficient, let's say, to trade as far as slippage and commissions and fees. Richard says, how many contracts you trade at a time? Okay, watching this close, by the way. All right, we'll give it one more bar. I'm trading. It depends on what's in the group at the time. Right now, I'm trading in this group. I'm trading like 13 accounts, and that's 50 micros across those accounts. Because I'm trading in groups these days. So, again, if you see me trading 32, 50, 47, 73, it'll vary depending on which accounts I'm currently working on. Don't get married to a size. But you should keep the sizing relatively consistent in each individual account. Yeah, Venomous, I don't hide shit, dude. You see the P&L, the open P&L on every fucking trade. You want to look back and see, you can see just how much money I lost on any given losing trade. Don't pull that shit with me. I'm not hiding a damn thing. Because I gotta tell you guys, I'm too worried about my trading to give a fuck what anyone in here comes and says, you lost a trade. Dude, I gotta make money for my family. You should worry about your family, not my trading. All right, minute 30 out here. We're on the 2 minute. We'll switch to the 5 minute if we need to. Big wick back upside, by the way, on the last 5 minute bar. But back to the 2 here for now. $60 seconds out. Okay, now what we got to be careful of here, what I need to be careful of here is a range. These big aggressive moves. Honestly, guys, here, if you look at this kind of soft bull channel or trend, you could kind of call it, this instant reversal to a bear channel, that's not so common. That doesn't happen that often. Usually it turns into a sideways trading range and then makes a move up or down. But in this case, if we see that again, that's not common at all either. So I'm a little more concerned that this turns into a sideways trading range from here. So let's keep an eye out. 20 seconds out. All right, inside close on that last bar. Should we check out the 1 minute? Ooh, maybe we should, huh? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let's run a poll here. All right, 1 sec. I'm going to run a poll in the chat. All right, vote. Put it out. Oh, man. All right, we got like 50 votes already in like 10 seconds. And it's pretty mixed. All right, maybe. A lot of you guys are on the 1 minute chart. I kind of figured that might be the case. Not as many of you on the 5 minute as I thought, honestly. Interesting. All right, we're on a 1 minute currently, and you can see here inside close, just barely. Let's head back to the 2 and see what we got. Derek says 1 minute is a touch too fast for me. Yeah, you know, Derek, honestly, if you're doing it all day, I kind of agree with you. An hour or 2 or 3 here and there, or throughout, you know, even if it's every day, is fine. But for me, and I think for most people, if you're just being honest with yourself, once you get, you know, 5-6 hours into the day, if you're still trading a 1 minute, you're probably not making quite as good of decisions as you were 4 hours ago. Higher high, I saw someone is trading the 30-second chart. Yeah, man. Hey, the 15-second chart. Let's pull up a 15-second chart. It's loading. Hang on. There you go. There's a 15-second chart. Listen, you can trade all these charts the same way. Just remove the time from the bottom and the price from the right. And if there's enough data within each individual bar, you're good to go. Yeah, I think we're gonna head back to the 2 or the 1. Here, just for fun. Just for fun. There you go. There's a 1 second chart. What do you think? Can you guys hit it? What do you guys think? Can you scalp with stop limit orders here on the 1 second? That's crazy. I don't think I can do it. All right, 2 minute chart. So nobody has an aneurysm on my watch. All right, so the poll here, we have over 100 votes now. Favorite time frame to scalp? 1 minute has 45% of you guys. 2 minute is 35%. 5 minute is 20%. Interesting. We have quite the mix. Most of you are on the 1 minute chart. Is this because we're impatient? Probably, but that's okay. I like the 1 minute too. I'm actually a big fan of the 1 minute, but the 2 minute is, I think, more sustainable if you're going to scalp futures like all day. Well, let's switch to a 1 minute here and just take a peek. All right, we're on a 1 minute chart now. John, funny how the 5-minute people took longer to fill out the poll. They like to take more time to make decisions in general. That's okay. That's all right. I mean, yeah. Listen, the 5-minute, I really like the 5-minute. You guys have seen me focus primarily on the 5-minute for a period since starting the stream, which makes sense. If the 2-minute and especially the 1-minute are like too wiki, like right now this 1 minute's a little too wiki. So let's head back to the 2-minute chart, and this is now a 2-minute chart. The 5-minute's great. It's great. The setups are of a pretty high quality. I really like the 5-minute chart. The problem is, you know, there's only what, 81 bars or something in a day, in a trading day with a 5-minute chart. And are there plenty of setups to take? I don't know. I think I'm a little too picky for the 5-minute to provide enough. Maybe for some people there's plenty if they're a little looser. And, you know, honestly, guys, I know that you probably don't hear people say this too often, but sometimes I think, you know, something I guess I've been trying to work on is allowing myself to be a little looser, just to even more so increase the sample size. Because sometimes I think that I'm so picky that if I loosened up, and I've seen this in my data, I still retain the edge and the sample size increases where I actually do even better. But, you know, psychologically, that's kind of a tough thing, because early on when you're trading, you're too loose because you don't know what you're doing, myself included, and that kills you. So it's almost like running from the pain of that by being strict. And then eventually you get to that point where it's like, I would almost benefit from loosening up a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. But, all right. So, again, here we are still on a 2-minute chart, 90 seconds out. Chris, how we doing? Five minutes. Joe, am I smelling a trailing stop loss on green moves? Maybe remove profit target and just let it go? Profit target and just let it go? I don't think I can do it. The closest, well, maybe. I don't want to say never, because maybe. Trading is very dynamic. It needs to shift. But not in a range market. Absolutely not, Joe. But in a trend market, I think what you'd more likely see me do is take it bar by bar and manually move the stop up to underneath each additional, like in a big bull trend. If they're big bars, especially on a 5-minute chart, if I'm trading the 5-minute chart, you might see me after each rollover of a strong bull bar move the stop up beneath that bar's wick low by like a 1 tick or a point. More likely that's what you would see me do as far as like a trailing stop, but a traditional trailing stop is a little arbitrary in a move like that for my taste, but I'm not against arbitrary, you know, stops and take profits. You guys saw, again, I was trading an arbitrary 40-point stop, 40-point take profit during tariff talk like 3 or 4 months ago. And we did very well. There's nothing wrong with that, but in a market like this and in a big trend, I think it's better to play stops based on a region of interest. All right, currently we are in a range. Well, hold up, no, I probably wouldn't draw it like that. I'd probably split the difference here. Draw like that, like this. So that range is about 30-ish, couple more points wide, maybe 32 points wide. Actually more like 30. Peter, good morning. How we doing? Good to see you. All right, minute 25 out. We are on the 2-minute chart. Beavis, long follower of the channel, but new to the streams. What trading platform do you use? I am using, what you're looking at is NinjaTrader, and I'm plugging in Apex and Bullinox via Rhythmic, and then Take Profit Trader, My Funded Futures, and Tradeify are through Tradeivate. Jesus, there's so many names. But what you're looking at is Ninja. Okay. Copy trader engaged. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. So you'll see the live P&L, how it changed. That's because I have some accounts that are not included in this group. Now watch. I'll unlock it and show all the accounts. There you go. So that's the total. I think the more accounts you get, again, we've had this conversation before. It makes sense to start trading them in different groups. Because, you know, I've had, some of you guys probably haven't had a copy trader issue. I've had a copy trader issue, and it's scary. It's scary when your copy trader glitches, and even if you trust your copier, I think it's still worth hedging that risk by trading in multiple groups. Once you get to more and more accounts that require more work to get back to if some crazy thing happened to all your accounts. All right, 43 seconds out here. Dual roll over here on the 5 and the 2. You see this? 5 minute coming right into the 20 EMA. Yeah, with that being the case, and this 2 minute bar top right being such a shrinking bull body, I gotta hold off, wait for one more bar on the 2 minute. So keep an eye on the 5 minute chart as well. I will be top left. But main focus back to the 2 minute chart here. All right, 52 seconds out here. See if we get an entry here. 10 seconds. Need this bull bar to really, really grow. At least close near the high. Nope. Too big of a wick. No trade, next bar. All right, 20 seconds here. Let's see if something big changes in this bull body. Last second. Inside close, no trade. Next bar. Curious to see, really, honestly, if these bears pull it on back right into this trading range. Such an agreed upon price zone. It's not improbable to see that. So we know that that's there, right? So let's clean this up, just make our chart look nicer. Eric, Def having a hard time reading the market this week. I don't know if it's a bias I have that I'm wrong or what. Eric, the first thing that I always look at, if I feel like I'm not reading something right, like yesterday on the stream, did not trade well. Came back in the afternoon, grinded back not to green, but I grinded back to break even. I let people know in the Discord. You're not in there, and then you're wondering what happened. Which, by the way, I share out of the kindness of my heart. It's really none of your fucking business. Pat, do you make trades off that bear flag? No, I don't. Okay, so Eric, first thing that I look at, are you maybe trying to bet too much on breakouts in a just brutal range market? Like, for example, are you buying too heavily into a continuation setup when we know the market is ranging heavily? Now, today, volatility is a little bit better. So, quite a few of my trades already this morning, well, there's only been 3, but have been that continuation. Now, a problem that maybe I'll have on a really brutal lower volatility range day, like I'm thinking back, I'd have to review my trades yesterday in video form to really see, but oftentimes the problem will be I'm betting on breakouts, not breakouts, I'm betting on continuation, but the range is more brutal than I anticipated. And then I just get killed for 2 or 3 trades in a row, and then I really have to look at things and say, is that the problem? And then make the best assessment I can, which, isn't necessarily going to be correct, but we always live in a fog, and we're just trying to find our way as traders. And if you can do so 55 to 60% of the time, you can make all the money you'd ever like. All right, let's see here. Pop up the open P&L in case we get an entry. Wick's a little big. Gonna hold off. Next bar, 2 minutes out. Christian, what happened with the 1 minute? It was a little bit wicky. We'll be back. Where's L Trader? Can you explain what you're waiting for? Price action. Price action. So on that bar, here on this bar, had I gotten a stronger bull body close with less of a wick, I'd have put out a stop limit buy, a tick or 2 or 3 above the wick high of that bar and given it 15 to 30 seconds on the rollover of the bar after that close to get filled long. This shows a little too much bull insecurity with that wick pulling on back, which is, yes, a discretionary call based on the size of the wick. People will say, well, how big does the wick have to be to not trade it? I don't know. I just look at it, right? You get better with time. And you're not always going to be right either. Sometimes you'll look back and say, yeah, wick was probably a little too big. Maybe I shouldn't have taken that trade. That's okay. Part of the game. Hey, Redneck. Good to see you today. Giovanni Joe. Nico going for a swing here. The 5 touched the 9 and VWAP and bounced up. 15-minute looks to be bullish and breaking over volume weighted average price. I'm long, says Joe. Stop loss under swing low. I assume you mean down here. Let's see. All right. Joe is trading live with us here today. Let's all hold Joe accountable, Joe. Hope you make lots of money. All right, we got 20 seconds out. You see this? Likely an inside close inside of this little wiki mess. Yeah, I'd still call it an inside close. All right, I need one more bar at least. If we can get a nice bear bar closing near the low underneath this wick, then I will use the stop limit sell to try to get short on the close, which is 1 minute and 42 seconds out. Clint, welcome, brother. Good to have you. All right, 27 seconds out here from the rollover of this 2-minute bar. Weak 2-minute bar. Closing as essentially a small little bull doji. All right, next bar, minute 56 out. A decent close there on the 5-minute out of the bears. Here's the look on the 5-minute chart. See that bar that just closed? Now I'm watching the 2-minute, which is this chart, for my entry to see if we get something. 45 seconds out. See if we get a nice low close out of the bears. Joe. Not looking good. Putting my house up for sale. One trade, man. And hey, your stop's way the hell down here. All right. Inside close, can't do it. You see this? Wick back out of the bear bar and closing. Yeah, well, it's one tick beneath the previous bar's wick low. Yeah, but it's got a big old wick. Can't do it. Can't sell that. Next bar, minute 45 out. But if you guys haven't yet, please press like on the live stream. It really does help out a lot, and I appreciate you doing so tremendously. All All right, 65 seconds out. If this bear bar closed as it currently sits right now, I'd have to get short. Let's see if it holds up. Hey, Joe. So Joe is sitting long somewhere up here, I forget. I might have to try to hunt your stop loss here, buddy. I'm sorry about that, but the dog-eat-dog market, man. Let's see. 6 seconds. I don't know if we're gonna get the entry. Stop limit sell is out. I'll give that 20 more seconds, see if we can get a fill. 10 seconds. See that bull's wicking that back. Holding this bar up. Might have to pull this order. If I don't get filled in the next 2 seconds, I gotta pull it. I gotta pull it. There's the rule. Can't be breaking rules. No trade. Next bar here. Minute 20 out. So, okay, 49 seconds out. If we can get another nice little bear bar closing near the... Oh, wait a second now. We have a dual rollover coming here between the 5 top left and the 2 top right. So what we're going to have to do, what I'm going to have to do here is switch over to the 5 minute. Here on this look. Okay, we're now on the 5 minute chart. All right, there's the open P&L. Let's see if we can get a decent close here out of the bears. I don't want that wick. That's not what I want, bears. Don't do that. Give it 15 seconds. This is a 15-second setup. Does not deserve 30 seconds. Say about a B+ setup, if not B. Pull it, no trade. Next bar here, back to the 2 minute. Back to the 2 minute chart here. Doji close on that last bar. We're 90 seconds out. All right, there we go. 65 seconds. See if these bears give us a decent close. I still would like to try to hunt some stops down here. It's not the low of day, but it is the curl. Right here. It's kind of far. I don't know. I mean, there we go. Get a little bit closer so I don't have to go so far to hit take profit. Okay, I'm scalping. I'm not looking for a swing trade here. 30 seconds. See what we get. Nice, nice, nice. Hold it there. Hold it there, bears. No, no further. Don't you go any further. There, beauty. Good little place. And there we go. We got a fill. All right, see if we can hunt some stops. See if we can hunt some stops. Right around 62.50. Now, I don't want this to turn into a double bottom. That's what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday doesn't mean anything here today. At least for me. So let's see if we can hunt those stops. That put us quickly a few points in the money. Not enough. We'll take this bar by bar. Come on, bears, take it down through those stops. Do it. Do it to him. Take it through those stops, bears. Come on now. Where my cursor is, that's kind of what I'm looking at for that stop hunting mentality. Gives you some free liquidity here. So I'm looking for pretty much a full ATR on this trade. It ain't over till it's over, guys. You can't be counting Joe out quite yet. But if I hunt, if this stop hunting mentality works, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're out. All right, half decent little close there out of the bulls. If the bulls give us one more good close on the 2-minute chart here, I'm gonna have to cut it early and move on. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that here, at least for me. All right, bears, do it to him. Take out that low. Take out that low. There we go. Come on now. Looking to hunt some stops, so I'll get ready in terms of hovering. And I'm not going to place that order yet because that, if we get news, that messes with my reward to risk since the stop is where it is. So I just hover this order because the stop hunting, when it pops through, it's fast, it's quick. So I'd probably be too slow on the hotkey. Place that, see if we can get a stop hunt. Pull it on back, hover again. Come on, bears, take out those stops. Do it. Do it. Gotta keep my order hovered. They're taking their time. See this? The bears still have not hunted these stops. I'm looking for a few extra points of free liquidity if they can take out those stops, and I'll use a limit buyback order. to, well, it's just a buy limit order, right? But we'll call it a limit buyback to take profit if we can get it. But if we get a nice clean bull close here out of the bulls before we get that, then I'll have to cut the loss. We'll move on. That'll be the first loser of the day if that happens. Let's see here. 55 seconds out until decision time. In case we get a big move between now and then, we have our protective stop out. It's all right. "33 seconds. Son of a gun, you bulls. You bulls. All right, let's see here. If this turns out to be a bar that I would reasonably get long on in the next 7 seconds, meaning not a big wick back, I'll have to cut it and we can move on. Yeah, it's a nice close. Cut it, we'll move on. Flatten the copy trader. All right. Hey, that was a hell of a setup, man. It just didn't work. We didn't go through the low. I would take that again. That was a nice trade. I like that trade. Joe, you survived. Machado, hey Nico, is that stop hunt 50-50 or more in your experience? I don't think about it that way, Machado. What I think about is there's two sides to the equation. There's your reward or risk, and then there's probability. What you're talking is probability. For me, I'm looking at the same probability as any other setup, right? I still need a setup to enter the stop hunt. Probability is the same. But what the stop hunting does is it adds a few extra points of essentially free liquidity if it can break, which increases the reward to risk, which is the edge. There's already edge in the setup itself, but the added rocket fuel, as I like to call it, to the stop hunting improves the reward to risk enough to increase the edge that much more. Which is why you guys see me, I'm always looking to see, hey, is there an obvious point that we can hunt stops with a good setup coming into that region? I will take that trade every time it's clean. Which, hey, we might get another opportunity here if this bear bar, kind of holds out. Gotta be willing to try it again if you get another setup here. Let's see, minute 26 out. Let's see if we get one. I would probably need to see this bear bar close probably beneath the wick of this big bull bar. 60 seconds out again. This is a 2-minute chart. Let's see if we get that. Ooh, nice bull reversal candle, huh? We might have to flip-flop, I'm telling you. We might have to flip-flop our little, our thought process here, because this right here is another setup to the long side if they get a decent close here. Gotta place it. Give that 25 to 30 seconds here, see if we get a fill. Again, I only want to get filled if the bulls take over that wick high, that previous bar that just closed. 7 more seconds, see if we get a fill. No fill. Gotta pull it, man. Got close. No fill, gotta pull it. Yeah, so, you know, Joe on that trade, dollar cost averaged down near, not far from his stop. And, you know, there's a lot of ways to do this, guys. I actually agree with Joe here. It can make a lot of sense if you get a reasonable setup that you're taking your second or third ad to dollar cost average when the risk on that ad is the lowest. Now, probability of getting stopped out is still high, right? It doesn't change that. But what it does do is if the setup that you're adding on that happens to be relatively close to your stop turns out to be a setup that would have worked, well, guess what? You have a lower average. Therefore, if it turns around, you're back in the green quicker and the trade turns into a monster trade by putting on a little bit of extra risk. Now, again, the probability still says that it's more likely that you just get stopped out even with the ad. But in a lot of mathematical cases, it can make sense to take that ad. Because, you know, you might be adding on an extra $500 of risk onto what you're already risking, but the change, if the setup itself that you added on does turn and put you back in the money, it can be thousands, right? And the probability is such a way that mathematically that can make sense. Not in every case, but I actually agree with Joe here. Now, don't just do it recklessly, right? There still has to be a setup that you're adding on typically. Redneck, hey, how long do you give a trade to fill before you pull the order? On a B setup, 15 seconds. On like a B plus, more like A minus and up setup, 30 seconds. Reason is on a lower grade setup, I want to be in the money. This is with stop limits, right? I'm talking about stop limit sells, stop limit buys, continuation entries. I want to be in the money as quickly as possible. If there's no resolution in the first 15 seconds on a B setup, I probably still shouldn't be getting filled. The resolution needs to happen quickly, even more quickly, the lower the grade of the setup. But still, 30 seconds is plenty for even an A setup for me. All right, 18 seconds out here. Let's see if this turns into a bigger bear bar. Even if it did, I'd still have to keep an eye on this. Right, but if we can maybe get on the next bar, the next 2-minute bar, a bigger bear bar closing near the low, I could still have another shot at that stop hunt. Though we got to be careful now that there's a flat bottom there, but I got to tell you, for me, that's even more tempting for the stop hunt. Yeah, Roy, I think they might. I mean, we'll see. I'm not going to trade based on that hope, but if we get a setup, man, I'll hit it. I'll hit it and look for those stops. All right, guys, but hey, don't go anywhere. I will be back in just a couple of minutes, grabbing coffee, and I'll be right back to hit some more trades. All right, we are back, baby. Ready to rock. Back on the 2-minute chart here. How you guys doing today, by the way? I know a lot of people are struggling. You do not have to share because it's no one else's business but your own. But if you would like to share how you're doing or vent about something, hit the chat. Maybe we can talk about it. I know a lot of people are struggling this week. The market's been... It's been interesting. It's been more so than normal intraday trend right into tight range. Back to intraday trend, right back into tight range. And that destroys traders. Because it's hard. It's hard to make that call quickly. Like, hey, is this turning into a range? Is it breaking out into a trend? That's really confusing. It's not easy. Okay, and that's been this week. ABB locked out one eval for hitting loss limit on the day. That's okay. Green on the other. Good work. Tactical hit target on 2 take profit trader test accounts. Good work. Green trading mean reversion today. Chris, good work. Venny, down 280 today. Got a voice in my head that says, let's move on. Damn straight. Christian, $500, good work. Keep it up, brother. All right, 40 seconds out here, by the way, on this 2-minute bar. Gotta tell you, I see a little range. That's what I see. Let's see how this closes. 27 seconds. If it were to close right now and you said you got to do something, do it. I'd have to get short. I'd have to get short because it's closing. The bulls are getting nice and cocky in the higher end of what I see as a range. All right, but let's just see. Let's see if that turns into a thing and what we get as far as a close here. Give this about 15 seconds. That's going without me. 5 more seconds here. Yeah, I mean, you see what I mean? Yeah, no trade. I'd say I missed the entry, but I didn't really because I wanted to see us climb right back a little into that wick. We never did that. Immediately just fell. You guys see what I kind of mean? Like, I don't want to be the Monday morning quarterback here, but that was what I was looking for. We just didn't get high enough for me to get short. But right back into the trading range. Bulls get a little cocky, bears say, this is a range. Take it right back down. Roy, 3450 overall, Apex 25k and 100k static evals pass. Good work. Yeah, Roy, those 100k statics, man, I'm running a few of those. I like the 100k statics. They are slept on over at Apex. Trying to think which account style I've taken the most money out of. It might be the 100k statics that I've taken the most out of over at Apex. They're slept on, man. But you got to start slow. It's different. It's kind of in reverse. You guys know I like to start like a 50k eval at Apex big and then size down into the finish line. With the 100k evals, and fundeds, it's opposite. You have to start small and then scale as you go. So it's not, you know, it's a little bit more delayed gratification, but I like it. Let's see if we get an inside close here on this 2-minute bar. Close beneath this wick and I would buy it. I don't think we're gonna get that, are we? Nope, inside close, next bar. Mario says, hi Nico, what's your take on Bullinox? I currently own a, well, I don't know if I own it. I currently have a Bullinox qualification account that I have not started. I am making it a stop on my journey. I know a lot of people look at Bullinox as almost like a kind of like a quiet, less rule-driven version of Apex. And I like that shit, so I'm gonna hit Bullinox. But, I mean, you guys know, my top two ran, if this ever changes, I'll just tell you. Because, you know, this is all dynamic, it all moves and changes, and new firms come out, and some firms kind of quiet down. But right now, by far, my two favorite prop firms are Take Profit Trader and Apex. It just works. Take Profit Trader if you're trying to bootstrap going full time, man. By the way, code BIG at both of them will give you the best deal always, no matter when you use it, what time of day, what the deal is. It'll always be the best deal. But if you're trying to bootstrap going full time, you need money coming in, right? I mean, we've talked about this. Apex, you got to wait sometimes for the money. I've had Apex pay me in a couple of days, and it's taken like a week and a half, 2 weeks to get money sometimes. And if you're trying to bootstrap going full time, that doesn't really work too well. Apex is where you go to get big and scale and get way more accounts and take way more money in payouts. Take Profit is where you go to get consistent revenue coming into the bank account. Daily payouts. right, minute 23 out here on this 2-minute bar. Let's see if we get something closing outside of something. If we got a nice bear close beneath these 2 wicks down here where my cursor's at, I would buy it. Yeah, Mario, hey, is Bolinox available over there? If so, just hit Bolinox. Nothing wrong with Bolinox. I like Bolinox. I don't have tremendous experience with Bolinox, but I've heard only good things, really. All right. "20 seconds out here. What's up, Tubed Out? How we doing, brother? Big old doji close there on the 2-minute. It's all right. Next bar here. All right, now, if this were to close right now, which it's not gonna, it's 60 seconds out. I know that, you know, it's tempting to say, well, I still want to stop hunt this. Yeah, I do too, but right now I'm seeing this, right? I'm seeing this has turned into a trading range. So if that closed right there, where it is right now, I would have to buy that. So let's see here, 40 seconds and we'll make a decision. I'll widen things out, don't overthink it. Right, open P&L, position window out in case we get an entry here, let's see. I don't like that big wick back upside. I don't like that at all. Come on, Bears, take it lower. Take it lower. Inside close. No trade. Next bar, 2 minutes out. Joe says, Nico, I took that on the touch, snagged a quick 7. I kind of like when it's not about to close. You get that initial bounce, you experience that. Yeah. I feel like movement inside of a bar, not at the top of the minute, so to speak, is not arbitrary, but I've noticed that sometimes, and other times, of course, it's not the case. When you get a little bit of boost to volatility is oftentimes right at the top of the minute. More often than inside of, you know, not at the top of a minute. The reason I say that is because on a 1 minute chart, the top of the minute is always a rollover. On the 2 minute, the rollover is always at the top of the minute. 5 minute, same deal. I know what you mean, but for me, it's not consistent enough to. But you guys know on reversion setups, I don't have to wait for a close of the bar. I just prefer to. On continuation setups, I typically am waiting for the close of the bar. Waiting on the close, it just makes the decision-making process easier, honestly, more than anything. Gives you a very clear point of, okay, make a decision here. Whereas otherwise, if you're trying to make a decision every second of the day, it's exhausting. I think it's harder. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Joe. "30 seconds out." Hold off on that sip of coffee here. Hang on. All right, inside close, inside of this wick. Next bar here, 2 minutes out. Yeah, ATR is not bad today here. On the 2 minute chart, we're sitting about 17, 16, 17. It's pretty good. Cannot complain here. It's about ATR. All right, roll over the 2 minute here. Doji. All right, 50 seconds out here. All right. I gotta give it one more bar. Right on the outside of that range coming into this little flat top here. One more bar here on the 2 minute. And we'll make a decision here in a minute 46. All right, I'm starting a poll here in the chat. Go ahead, please vote. I'm very curious to hear what you guys. Now, don't say like necessarily. Please don't go into that with a bias. Like, well, I want you to make a strategy video, so I'm gonna click this. What do you like to? Because I know what I like to watch on YouTube. The style that I like. I want to hear from you guys. Let's hear it. All right, one more bar here. That was an inside close right at that little top. Clint, I'm on the 2 minute chart currently. All right, 55 seconds out here. Yeah, we got Trump making some remarks here in about 5 minutes. Let's keep an eye on that. 25 seconds out here. You can see. These bears are going to take it right back into this range. I think, you know, not unlikely here. So let's see here. Let's get ready. I need to see this bear bar close beneath this previous bar's wick low. 5 seconds out. Inside close. No trade. Next bar. Remember, we got Trump making some comments here in a few minutes. All right, now question. So the poll is coming in. Interesting here. So, question. You guys can answer this in the chat. I appreciate your insight. When you say, when you guys select what you selected, are you picking it based on topic of the content or length of the content? Or both? Are you just saying, I like longer videos in general? Or are you saying, no, I'd want to see a strategy theory video even if it was 3 minutes long, for example? Or, because I know some of you guys really like when I take a bunch of trade highlights and throw them together in a 45-minute video. Is that what you're saying, or are you talking about length? All right, everyone's interested in topic. All right, interesting. Appreciate you guys. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. I will take mental inventory. And probably mix together and just do more. That gives me a good insight to what you guys like. All right, minute 17 out. Let's see what we get here. Again, we got Trump talking here, but is he going to be on time is the question. Clean up this chart here. All right, 2-minute chart, 13 seconds out. I will get a stop limit buy ready, move it up in case we get news, and see if we get a half decent close. Small wick, get higher. Too big of a wick, no trade, next bar, 2 minutes out. $60 seconds here till we get a rollover on the 2-minute chart. Looking to see if we can get a nice bull close near the high for me to get long. If not, I'm a little too concerned with this range still. So So let's see here, 41 seconds. All right, inside close, no trade, next bar. Joe, any chance we can get a video on your small cap plays in the morning? I've done it. I've done videos on, yeah, on the setups that I use and that in general. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll do recap videos here in the future. But right now, I think what benefits you guys more is the futures recaps, since that's what most of you guys are here for. The problem, you know, the problem with, not a problem, but the thing with the small cap plays is, you guys know, I fucking hate PDT. And, you know, it's fine. Once you're over PDT, it's not a big deal, obviously, but for the sake of making content for you guys, I am not a big fan that I can make all the videos in the world about the small cap momentum stuff, and a lot of you guys can't even trade it because we have this stupid fucking rule that says if you don't have at least 25, more realistically 30,000 in your account, that apparently you're too dumb to take risk, which is so backwards, and that's not what this country was built on. It's disgusting. But we'll see. We'll see if it gets lowered to maybe 2,000 bucks here in 2026. If that happens, a lot more you guys can do both. You can trade small cap momentum in the morning and then futures during the day, which is, I think, a fantastic mix. Is it a long trading day? Yeah. Yeah, it is. But I think it's worth it. Minute 35 out, baby. Hey, by the way, if anyone in the chat here, you guys, I can use you guys as a nice little tool because I got a million things going on. If Trump walks out and starts making comments, and I don't notice anything coming through the news feed, hit the chat and say Trump is talking, and make everyone's life easy if you're paying attention. But if I get some Trump remarks coming through on the news feed, I will also, of course, let you know. ATR is falling. We're now in the 12s. All right, Zach, is that so the stream started? Is that what you're saying? Okay. By the way, guys, hey, remember, code BIG at Take Profit Trader gives you 40% off right now. No activation fee, which is over $100. It just wipes it if you use the code, which is ridiculous. And then when you take your first payout in that account, they literally refund you the first month of what you paid for the test account. All with code BIG, baby, at Take Profit Trader. So hit that up. Hit that up. That's a stupid good deal. Makes the numbers look a lot better as far as making this a profitable venture for you. "40 seconds out here. Volatility still slowing. Seems like we might be waiting for Trump here. ATR is 12 points currently, down from about 17 earlier. Yeah, you know, I agree with you guys. All right, I think volume's drying up, waiting for Trump, so now is probably the best time for me to go hit lunch. So I stay caught up on food for the day, and then I will come back and trade myself in the afternoon. Maybe he'll still be talking, but the impact will be leveled out, or he'll be gone by then, and we can get back to trading a normal ATR. You guys have, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, you probably have by now, the ATR, meaning volatility, has been increasing by quite a bit after the lunch hour. Right now is pretty much the lunch hour. So in the afternoon, like last 2 hours of the day, things have been picking up quite a bit. Quite a bit, which makes our life that much easier. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go hit lunch. Hey, code BIG, best deal always, Apex, Take Profit Trader. Even the Tradeify straight to funded accounts, if you want to hit those, you don't even have to trade the eval over there. Use code BIG, and if you have not done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I will be live scalping every single day. Same thing we did today, every morning, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. All right, guys, have a good one. Stay patient. Hands off until the setup comes, and when it does, fucking hit it hard, man. All right, have a good day. See you tomorrow.